Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And now at 6, the news everyone around the world is talking about tonight. Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States. Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Bridget Bjorlo. According to the Associated Press, Trump gathered 292 of the electoral votes, with Harris getting 224. Here in Connecticut, the vote went to Harris, but it wasn't enough to get her a win. Trump surpassing the needed 270 votes after winning Wisconsin late last night. We're told that President Biden has spoken to both Harris and Trump, and he's set to address the nation tomorrow to discuss the results and what comes next for the transition.
About an hour and a half ago, Vice President Harris officially conceded to Trump. She gave an emotional speech at her alma mater, Howard University.
While I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign. A fight for the ideals at the heart of our nation, the ideals that reflect America at our best. That is a fight I will never give up.
We've been watching election results roll in since late last night, from the presidential race to here at home, where major state and local races were also held. Fox
61 political reporter Emma Wolfhorst joins us live in studio now with a look at the results of those down ballot contests. Emma.
Yeah, we know the presidential election obviously does not happen in a vacuum. There were a multitude of congressional races across the country this election, 6 of those right here in Connecticut. And all the Democratic incumbents secured their seats once again, including Senator Chris Murphy.
I feel like the luckiest guy in the world that I get the chance to do this job for another 6 years.
U.S. Senator Chris Murphy clinched a third term Tuesday night with about 57.5% of the vote.
I'm going to continue to do all the things necessary in order to make sure that I'm listening to everybody in this state.
Murphy spent the afternoon post-election at his usual spot, Capitol Lunch in New Britain. He says it's his tradition, calling himself a bit superstitious.
Whatever I'm doing seems to be working. My karma did not extend to the national level, but it seems to be working here in Connecticut.
But Murphy says his win is bittersweet.
We lost a lot of good colleagues in the Senate. Donald Trump seems poised to return to the White House, which is really bad news for Connecticut.
Both chambers of Congress held slim majorities going into Tuesday, the Senate switching from Democratic to Republican control, with the GOP flipping 3 seats.
What's discouraging is that typically when Republicans are in charge in Washington, they don't actively look for bipartisan successes.
The Senate is responsible for confirming the president's cabinet and any Supreme Court justices if a vacancy comes, giving Republicans a power boost. Murphy says he's willing to work across the aisle, but is doubtful of bipartisanship under another Trump administration.
I mean, I didn't work with them on much. I mean, I learned not to trust them. That doesn't mean that I won't continue to try, but there wasn't a lot of effort to reach out across the aisle from the Trump White House in the first term.
His message to Connecticut residents:
I love this country. I love this state. Trump's values aren't Connecticut values, and so I'm just going to go to the Senate and fight like hell for the things that Connecticut cares about and see if we can find areas of common agreement, try to stop him when he's doing things that are particularly dangerous, and get ready for the next election.
Murphy also tells me he was surprised by the results nationally last night into this morning, saying there's something broken about the Democratic Party's messaging. He pointed to Democratic policies and issues being approved in states where Democratic candidates then lost. He says the party will definitely be having some, quote, hard conversations in the coming weeks and months. Bridget, Brent.
All right, Emma, thank you. And we'll continue to keep you covered on all things elections on air and online. Be sure to download the free Fox 61 app. And we have breaking news to report tonight in Simsbury. Crews are responding to a fire at a home there.
It's happening on Cora and Hunt Drive, and that's where we find Fox 61's Kayla Kay this evening. Kayla, you arrived on the scene just a few minutes ago. What are you seeing out there, and what can you tell us right now?
There's not too much information right now, and I'm going to step out of the camera so you guys can get a better look. I just saw some police actually just taped off the road. There's a lot of fire department and police here from Simsbury here on the scene. This is active, but we do know that it has been confirmed that this is a structure and a brush fire, and also Life Start dispatch was confirmed to have been called for a burn victim. Again, this is an active scene right now. We're going to keep you updated on more information, but until then, Fox 61, Kayla Kate, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Kayla, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Let's turn to our weather forecast now. Another warm day, but will it last?
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frayne joining us now. Rach, I don't know if it'll last or just keep coming back.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? We keep going up and down, but for the last few weeks, we've had at least at some point record warmth. And today we ended up not only setting a new daily record high temperature for the Hartford area, but we ended up tying the all-time November record of 84 degrees. Believe it or not, that was last set November 1st, if you can remember the day after Halloween. Taking a look at the Bridgeport area, also setting a new daily record high temperature of 73. Both of these daily records were set back in 2022, so just a couple years ago. Here's a look at temperatures right now. We are still incredibly warm, even though the sun has already gone down long ago at this point. 75 in Meriden, right around the 70-degree mark in Chester. And we do have a cold front that's moving in tonight. The problem is not a lot of moisture to work with. So even though we're seeing a couple light showers here on the radar, I'm not feeling too optimistic that those hold together for us. I think best case scenario, there's a sprinkle. Overnight lows will drop back into the upper 50s to right around 60 degrees, including 55 in Hartford and 59 for Chester. And then heading into the day tomorrow, we're looking at bright sunshine, not as warm as today, but still way above average with highs near 70 degrees. We're going to talk about cooler temperatures for this weekend and time out a better chance for showers heading into early next week coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, Connecticut residents impacted by the August flooding have 2 more weeks to apply for federal disaster assistance. The deadline is November 19th. Residents are encouraged to file insurance claims for property damage before applying for assistance. The Small Business Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program will be open through June. We have a link for more information on how you can apply for assistance on our website, fox61.com.
A Hampton police officer is facing charges tonight, accused of running a name for personal reasons. Officer Jennifer King allegedly used the state database to look up information about someone. The police department tells us there was no legal reason to do this. King faces computer crime charges and is right now out on bond on a $2,500 bond, we're told. They're also on administrative leave while the legal case plays out in court.
An Andover man faces voyeurism charges tonight after allegedly watching his neighbor bathe in her own bathroom. Joshua Gonzalez is accused of looking through a neighbor's window as she bathed herself and her 1-year-old child. Police say they were familiar with Gonzalez from a previous incident of the same nature. He's being held on $10,000 bond tonight.
And 3 people were taken to the hospital after a fire in West Hartford. Crews responded to the fire at a multi-family home in North Quaker Lane just after midnight. Officials say one person jumped from the 2nd floor to escape the flames. Everyone has non-life-threatening injuries. A pet was also rescued. The Red Cross is assisting 9 residents that lived in the building. Crews in East Hartford also responded to a fire this morning, this one happening at the home on Beacon Hill Road. Firefighters were able to prevent the flames from spreading to nearby brush and vegetation. No residents or firefighters were injured.